What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Knight Talks, and we're back with another reaction for you. Guys, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me out trying to hit 1,200 subs by the spring. Appreciate that. Guys, we got It's Complicated back for you. New video they dropped. This one is called Shallow and Complicated. So I'm real interested to see what's going on here. So let's just get into it.
Would you agree that women are more complicated than men?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and the short answer, yes, in certain situations.
Are men too simple to understand women, or are women just too complex to be understood?
I think that men are too simple to understand women.
I think that women are too complex.
I just don't think men ask enough questions. I think women are very vulnerable. I think most women I know are gonna tell you yo, this is an issue, fix this, hello, and then what do they say, what's the statistics of divorce? 80% of women initiate divorces, and then men are oh my god, I didn't know what happened. Bitch, your wife was telling you for the past 12 years what she needed, and you didn't do it. So
is it better to be complicated or to be simple?
I think it's better to be complicated. Gives you depth.
Better to be complicated, but in the dating sense, probably better to be simple, easier to manipulate.
Why is it better to be complicated if it's harder to be understood?
Because when someone can understand you, they understand all those complex parts of you, and then I feel like you get a deeper connection.
Yeah, same here. I feel like there's more to dig into and more layers to uncover, but in the long run, it might not work out, but
Yeah.
Women often describe themselves as complicated, emotional, even crazy. Do you think women actually want to be understood?
Yes.
Wouldn't that hold them to a standard?
They kind of do, but they kind of don't. They want to be understood by the guys that they want to be understood by, basically.
It's complicated because we say we want something, but then we just say that to make you feel like we want something else. When our partner's going out to get some food, oh, we don't want any food, but as soon as you come back, you didn't get me anything.
Bro.
So basically it is complicated.
Bruh.
If women were easily understood, wouldn't that hold them accountable?
Yes.
Wouldn't that make it harder to manipulate?
Yes.
Is there any better manipulation strategy than remaining an unidentifiable threat?
Guilt tripping. That always works.
That is the best tactic you can use, and that's a tactic they use all the time, definitely.
If you understand your woman and you understand why she say the shit she say, do the shit she do, then she can't manipulate you. But if you don't understand why she do the shit she do, then she for sure gonna be able to run circles around you, manipulate you, all types of shit. You feel me? Especially if you're goofy.
Isn't it easier to manipulate somebody if you can just claim that you're crazy and you...
yeah, oh definitely, yeah. I feel it's kind of when people are oh, I'm crazy because this zodiac sign, it's I was like this my whole life. Yeah, definitely. And I think some people can fall for it, but it's probably on the other person and be all right, I'm not dealing with this person's shit.
Would you want to live with or commit to someone who admits to being crazy?
No, because they're not willing to change. They're just accepting that they're crazy. And I'm going to do crazy shit, so you should accept it. And
why do so many women admit to being complicated, emotional, even crazy, and think that's acceptable behavior?
It's today's times. People are just out of their minds nowadays. So it's it's accepted by everybody. It's glorified all over the place with media, music, TikTok, internet, Instagram, all that.
That's what they been all their life. You gotta think that's just them, you feel me? They don't even women don't even understand themselves. Sometimes they do something, don't even understand why they did the shit.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way men are?
Not at all. A woman wants you to be how she wants you to be type shit.
Facts.
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
Cause they women shit. You can't live with them. You can't live without them.
Yeah.
I see it as a way of a woman just making excuses to do whatever they feel like they want.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way that men are?
It's rare. It's very rare.
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
We shouldn't, but we do.
Who is more shallow, men or women?
Shallow?
Can you define
Bro,
shallow?
it's
Shallow is you
women.
only go for looks. You don't look on the deeper
Oh,
surface.
shallow.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to say women.
Yes.
Okay.
They are, because men don't care what kind of car women have. They don't care what kind of phone you have. They don't care where you live. Women, they kind of do. Like, they care what.
They're like, well, you're broke.
Like, are you broke? Are you made of money?
Like, is it good looking? Is it tall?
It's women. Women are more gold diggers than men,
We
I
hate
would
to
say.
it, but it's kind of us.
Hold up. I want to pause them. Them women kept it real. They kept it real, bro. When it comes to being shallow, cause women are far more shallow than men. It's that simple. And that really just goes back into women have access to sex and hold access to those things. As far as men goes, your average guy is going to take the best woman that he can get, and they're going to be cool with it. Even if she ain't his perfect girl, even if she don't look the exact way he would want her to, even if she don't act the exact way she wants him to, it doesn't matter. Men typically bend the knee and buckle down and are much more willing to accept a woman, even though she may not be everything that he wants. Whereas women come up front to the table. You need to drive this kind of car. You need to have this kind of money. You need to be this tall. You need to be looking this kind of a way. You need to have this going on and that going on. There's a lot of requirements and a lot of check boxes that women have over men. Like a man's checklist. Decent looking, pretty, check. Easy to chill with, check. Don't drive me crazy all the time, check. Cool, we're good. Women's checklist is going to be a lot bigger, a lot longer. They got a lot more requirements from them. And just like a lot of these people were saying earlier, like, bro, women have a far, far more difficult time accepting a man just as they are. Whenever women get a man, what's the first thing they say? I can make him better. I can change him. I can get him to get a better job. I can get him to do this or do that. They never are satisfied with you as you are. But let's continue.
Depends on the context, because sexually men are known to be more shallow, but materialistically women are known to be more shallow. But are they? I mean, it really depends on the person. Like
Sexually, men aren't more
women
shallow.
more shallow for sure. They want attractive, successful, good in bed, money. They want you to do what they say. Men just want you to be pretty and come home.
Are women more shallow because they want too many things, or are men more shallow because they only want one thing?
Nah.
Men, because they only want one thing.
What are your thoughts on the following expression? A woman wants one man to satisfy her every need, while a man wants every woman to satisfy his one need.
Wow. Wow, that's deep. I don't know. I feel like if both of those are satisfied, then I guess it would make for a good relationship. But at the same time, I don't think that's possible.
Men want the cooch, but men want so much more. They want family. They want, all of that. But they're just not good at showing it. They just wanna show us that they want.
But I mean, wouldn't you say that men are often shamed for being shallow because they just want one thing?
But don't also women only want one thing?
Well, do women want one thing, or do women want a lot?
want the
Bunch
whole
of
package.
things. Yep, she want a bunch of stuff.
Women want a man. Women want a family, a homemade.
In other words, women want the complete package. They want a man who's going to check all the boxes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
does that make... Basically, what I'm curious about is, if men and women can both be shallow for completely different reasons, what does it mean to be shallow?
I think being shallow is just only seeing someone at surface level. And I think having preferences is just knowing what you like and what you don't like, and actually just having a high standard for yourself.
Let's say a man is only willing to find a girl attractive if she's blonde, has huge tits, kind of looks like a blow-up doll, right? Like, that's a little bit shallow. Or if a woman is only able to look at a man and be like, okay, abs, hot body, good hair, good teeth, like, I feel like that's a little bit shallow. But your preference, if it's your preference of somebody who's like, okay, I prefer somebody who's on the fitter side, doesn't mean that they have to have a full-on six-pack. It could just mean they take care of their body, they're going to the gym, they're working on themselves. I personally prefer dad bods and be like, oh, daddy. That is my preference. Little snuggle cuddle meat, that's what I like. So, yeah.
Are men more shallow for wanting attractive women, or are women more shallow for only wanting attractive and also successful men?
I think that depends who you talk to and your interpretation of that.
So women aren't shallow for expecting more?
I think everyone's a bit fucking shallow.
And in my previous relationships, I would say that they expect me to be the best version of myself, not just hot. You can get away with being just hot, but you want to be able to articulate yourself and have a conversation with the person, because otherwise the relationship doesn't go anywhere and it's really unlevel.
Being a successful man, right, means you make over 6 figures, you have a nice car, nice house, nice job, and being attractive. Okay, cool. Women want that, but that's not always going to bring you your happiness. And with men, because they only want a hot girl, again, that's not going to bring you your happiness, but it's not as shallow because, sure, men are very physical. They want something that's beautiful, and that's what's going to stimulate their mind. Women want some emotional type of connection.
I personally believe to be shallow is that you only looking on the surface. Like, hey, I think you're good looking. I think I can have sex with you and the sex is great. But we don't even have a deeper connection. We cannot even have a conversation. When we argue, it's really, really bad. Like, that's shallow. That's really just looking on the surface of a person, not knowing them for who they are.
I mean, I think like attraction is what initially brings you to someone, but really like personality, humor, emotional connection is what makes you stay around.
Do you think women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
Yes. Yes.
Potentially. I know some picky men though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think women definitely have that privilege. You know, you go into a woman's Instagram messages and there's 100 men in there, but you know, a guy will be lucky if he hits up 100 girls and, you know, maybe 2 get back to him.
Facts.
Why is it considered a woman's preference to reject a man based on height, but it's considered shallow if a man rejects a woman based on weight?
Yep.
Is it though? I mean, okay, again, you're asking somebody who is very open. But yes, I do.
I mean, is that a double standard?
It is a double
Absolutely.
standard because, I mean, the short king movement, right?
What's the thing? What is called weight shaming?
Body shaming.
Body shaming. So shouldn't height size be body shaming too?
Yep.
Isn't it easier to change your weight than it is to change your height?
Yep. Yes, guy. Yes.
So wouldn't it be more shallow for women to reject men based on height?
Yeah.
Why do dating apps ask about height but not weight when women have a height preference and men have a weight preference?
Ooh, that's
Is
such
that
a good
not double
question.
standard?
Yeah, it is. I kind of feel like the dating apps are kind of like pushing that agenda.
Do you believe that anyone can be in anyone's league?
No.
Mm-mm.
What does it mean to be out of somebody's league?
You're just not attracted to that type of person. Like, it can be personality-wise, physically, or status. It's just you're not attracted to that kind of person at all. So,
What is pansexual?
I have no idea.
So I don't know the actual definition, but for me, I feel like it means like you love everything and are attracted to everything. You're attracted to a man, to a woman, to somebody who's transgender, like
It essentially
everyone.
means you can be attracted to anybody regardless of gender.
Of gender. Okay, so I kind of got that right? Okay.
Would you assume that pansexuals are the least shallow?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
If you're not pansexual, does that mean that you are shallow?
No.
I'm not sure. I don't completely understand pansexuals, so
What's the difference between pansexual and bisexual?
I've been asking myself
That's a
that
good
for years. I
question,
don't
bro.
know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. To me, I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be getting canceled for that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
based on what you said, pansexual is like being attracted to all kinds of gender, including non-binary and people who fall outside of the gender. But bisexual is being attracted to people who identify as either male or female.
Do you think sexuality for women is more mental and emotional for women than men?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like if I'm not in the right mindset, I will not orgasm for the life of me. You can try and you can try and you can try and it will not happen.
So wouldn't that mean that women are more likely to be pansexual than men are?
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like sometimes I got my euphoric experience from somebody who is not a man. And that's totally fine.
Should a man be expected to love a woman for who she is if a woman only loves a man for what he provides?
No.
That's no
No way.
standard. That's not cool. That's not cool.
No, they should both love each other for who they are. And I mean, sometimes it depends on the age and the dating. Like, some young women only want men for what they have. But like, if they're really serious, then it should be for who they are.
Who is more delusional? The average man holding out for the lingerie model or the average woman holding out for the rich alpha male?
That's a good
I think the average male that's
question.
waiting on a lingerie model.
The average man
Yeah,
holding on
yep,
for the
I
lingerie
agree.
model, because lingerie model ain't the average woman. You can't be. You feel me?
But can't the man improve himself to the point where he can attract most of the lingerie
Yeah,
women?
he for sure
He
can.
can.
He gotta get on his shit.
Yes, he can actually.
So wouldn't that mean that men are better at self-improvement than women?
Yes.
You're right. You're right. He can. Because to women, like those things like how a man looks physically, I guess if he is, you know, if he has money, if he has status, then most women are okay with that. Like he doesn't have to be very attractive. So yeah, I mean, it could be kind of equal.
So wouldn't that also mean that men are better at self-improvement than women?
For sure. A woman think just because she a woman, that's all she need to have to the table. A man really got to go out there and better himself, better him life, get a car, get a house, get a career. You feel me? So a man for sure go better himself before a woman do.
A woman wants one man to satisfy her every need, while a man wants every woman to satisfy his one need.
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
that's true to some extent.
yes,
It's
like
not all
to
the
a
way true, but
degree,
it's mostly
man.
true. Yeah.
Every woman to satisfy his one need.
Ooh. That sound accurate though. I'm gonna keep it real. That sound real accurate.
Why does a society that tells a man he doesn't deserve a woman when he's broke have any right to tell that man he only deserves one woman when he's rich?
It's double standard. It's
Bro,
like
right?
they want you to be down here, right? And then when you get up here, they don't want you to enjoy the fruits of your labor or what you've done or the success that comes or the accoutrements that come with being successful. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if a man, you know, if he's living his best life and making all this money and he wants to be a playboy, like do what you want to do. I think people's biggest issue is that with that is like men want this like, oh, we want this one woman to be loyal and to come home to and that loves us, you know, unconditionally no matter what, but I also want to go live this double life. I think that's people's biggest issue with men. But if they were
Can agree
honest,
with
I think
that.
it would be a totally different story.
All right, guys, we gonna cut that there. Yo, I found this video very, very interesting. I thought they were talking about some real good stuff here, yo. I think that as far as the shallow conversation goes, when it comes to men versus women, I will say in my own personal opinion, I think women are more shallow. And I'll just speak on myself. Me personally, okay, say I'm going for a girl. I don't need the hottest girl I can find. I don't need the best looking. I don't need a girl who's rich. I don't need a girl who has all this stuff. Are you good looking enough to where when I see you, I'm not repulsed? You know, can I sit and talk to you about stuff? Can we have a conversation? Do we get along well when we hang out? Like, do we vibe? Like, yes, men, we look. Looks are first. That's the first thing we see. We want someone that pleases the eye. Does she need to be a 10? No, but we at least want a 7. You know what I mean? Most guys, like, we're happy if we got us a solid 7 to come home to and she treats us good and we get along, we're chilling. Men don't have all these crazy requirements for women. Like, women have, like I said earlier, women have a list, you know, and the better looking the girl and the more suitors she has, the longer that list is gonna be. All right. And a lot of times you'll see a guy who's decent looking or even above average looking. You'll see him with an average to below average looking chick. A lot of times why that is because this guy was like, you know what? This girl may not be that good looking, but we get along, we vibe. She ain't shallow. She loves me for me. You know, she understands what it is in this world. And, you know, I've known guys who have had the hottest girls and, you know, but they end up settling down with a regular looking chick or just an average chick. But as far as her personality, it's above average, you know? So I do personally think that when it comes to dating, especially in the beginning stages, women are going to be more shallow. That's just what I think. Because most guys, 9 times out of 10, they're happy to get a girl who's even interested in giving them the time of day. Your average guy. Don't get me wrong, there's guys out there who have no problems getting women and, you know, Casanova and stuff. But, dude, most dudes are just happy to have a female that they can vibe with, that don't drive them crazy, and they can be happy with. You know, women's moods, emotions, wants, desires change frequently. They can change from day to day, hour to hour. I know you've all been sitting there with a chick. Y'all are getting along fine, talking, having a good time. And an hour later, she's just in a bad mood out of nowhere because she's in her head. She thought about something. their moods change constantly, you know, whereas men, we stay pretty even keel. Like, if something makes us mad, yeah, something makes us mad, but we let it be known, we handle it, and then we move on. Where, you know, women, they can be cool one day, and then the next day they can be pissed off about something totally random, and you had no idea why she was mad. You had no idea she was even mad because she didn't express this to you until she didn't let it bottle up and built up in her head. It's just, it can be a lot, you know, it can be a lot. As far as complexities goes, like they were talking about in the video, I do think women are more complex beings than men. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. We are genetically just wired differently, and that's okay. And that's the beauty of these videos and why they are so good. Guys, I am Dom Knight. This is Knight Talks. Fun as usual. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. Help me hit that goal. I'll toss my social medias right there for you. Follow me on TikTok only if you want to. And I will be back soon.
That's nice.
Peace.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some